Do you have a brilliant startup idea but are stuck in the launching phase? Are you feeling overwhelmed by funding, marketing, or just where to start? Don't let your startup idea stay grounded. Visit our website at eapla.com to schedule a Blue Couch meeting and launch your startup journey today.
Welcome back to On the Cusp. Matt's with me, and today we have Harrison Lilly, and understand you're from Bastrop, Louisiana.
That is my hometown.
You're first Bastrop boy.
Yeah.
So tell us about your entrepreneurial journey.
So my entrepreneurial journey started when I was 25. I'm 35 today. So I opened a bar. It was called Neat in downtown Monroe. It did really, really well. We paid back our capital investment in the first 30 days, and we're able to take owner draws in month 2. So that went really well until I got tired of being in that industry.
Yeah, it's a tough industry.
It's the lifestyle and so your ethics and everything else are a little bit different in that world.
I love the restaurant business.
Yeah, me too.
I love it. But it's not conducive to family, married life.
Yeah,
I always say that I want to go
marriage.
work in a restaurant once a month, one night a month, just to get it out of my system. you know?
I could totally see myself in retirement just going to bartender at a nice
I say that
restaurant.
all the time.
I think I would enjoy it because at that
too.
point, hopefully at that point in my life, I'm not working for money anymore, and I was just hey, I just want to go be nice to people and serve. I actually do enjoy serving.
The team atmosphere in a bar restaurant, you don't get that very often in other industries, in other businesses.
No, not at all.
It's it's like being in war. They're going to open those doors. Everybody's coming in.
They're coming in. They want it right there.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a good training ground for a future entrepreneur, I feel like.
Man, I think that entrepreneurs, and in fact, not even entrepreneurs, I think everybody should have to do 2 jobs. I think they should have to serve and be in service industry. So
absolutely.
Waiting tables, bussing tables, whatever. They
love it.
Learn how to serve people.
You learn more about yourself and people than any other place.
That's right. And I think they should spend 2 years serving. I think they should spend 2 years in a manual labor position. And I poured concrete.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
I did too. I started pouring concrete.
Yeah, I was the wheelbarrow guy. You know, the finishers loved seeing me. It meant that all they had to do was finish, but I had to do all the work.
Yeah.
They saw you. They said, "You're a big boy. You're the wheelbarrow man."
Yeah. No, and it was through those 2 experiences that I got to go. Okay, I know I definitely don't want to do this, and I really like serving people and being social, and I like being part of that teamwork and that camaraderie atmosphere, and yet I want to make money. So how do I do that inside my skill set with the life skills that I've developed through these multiple positions? And for me, it was the entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what was the first business you opened as an entrepreneur, or what was
it was
first?
the bar.
It was the bar.
Yeah, it was the bar.
And then you went from the bar into real estate?
I was already tired of the industry. I knew that I wanted more. Maybe I wanted kids or a stable relationship.
Right.
We've already said it's really hard to have that inside of that atmosphere. And so I had already wanted out, and then we had a little incident where I took this little brick to the face right here. If you see this headband scar.
I was wondering if that happened in a bar.
It did. Actually, it happened in an alleyway of a bar. Yeah.
It looks like it might come from running a bar.
Yeah, and at the end of that, I was like, I need to be out of this. I need out. So I, like every other server or bartender, I was like, just naturally, you go get your real estate license, right? But that didn't
It's
go.
like the graduation.
Yeah, it is. It's busboy, hostess,
I never saw
waitress, waiter, bartender, real estate agent.
That's right. Yeah. We should make that chart.
Yeah. Oh, it's already there. I promise. It actually showed up on my news feed the other day. I think I posted it 5 years ago. I was like, hey guys, I got my real estate license. Here's the chart. I'm working my way through the hospitality industry. I think I just skipped hotels. But no, so I got out of that, I got my real estate license, and I sold my bar, and I saved up money. So I had 6 figures saved up leaving that industry, and I also like to play golf. So I played golf for a year and didn't really work.
Yeah.
And which is why my real estate career didn't work. So by the end of that year, I had blown through all the money. I had $500 left in my checking account. I was this close to having to ask my parents to loan me money to pay my rent, which was only $550. And so I went and got a job. I was a assistant manager at a Nukes, if y'all are familiar with that, the sandwich shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was a humbling experience that like taught me to go back to work. Because I had never made that little money I've never made that little money. I made more money when I was 18 than when I was 26, 27.
Yeah.
So I got humbled and got to work and got into coaching and self-help and leadership and started reading and looking at podcasts and all that good stuff. And so I went from selling almost 0 houses my first year to second year in real estate, selling 41 houses. After my first year, I was able to, I love the people at Nukes, our area director. His name's Will Irwin, best guy on the planet, allowed me to create my schedule around my success in real estate. He's like, you owe me 45 hours a week. Everything past that, I don't care, but you can't leave for the lunch rush. Mm-hmm. And as long as I gave him my 45 and I honored the lunch rush, he would let me go list houses, go to showings. Man, it was just, they were really supportive of me. And I really appreciate that to this day. In fact, me and Will, I haven't worked for him for like almost 7 years now. And he was texting me this morning.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're still friends.
That's great.
So the next year I sold the 41. I respected them so much for what they had done for me. I gave them a 6-month notice. Like, hey guys, in the next 6 months I want to exit. You can exit me anytime you want from here on out.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to stay as long as needed. Right. I stayed for the 6 months. And then I was all in on real estate as soon as I left there. So instead of working 40, 50 hours in real estate and working 45 hours there, it was 100 hours a week, all in, real estate, investing, doing whatever I could to be all in that industry. Sold 91 houses the next year. I don't want to lie, but I don't remember my progression on that third year, but it was, year 4 was 225. Year 3 was somewhere in the mid to high 100s. Year 5, 380.
380 houses?
380 houses.
That's a house a day.
That was my goal. That was actually the goal and the vision of my organization was I want to be the only person I've ever met to sell a house a day.
Wait a minute.
How many agents did you have doing this?
At that point, 5.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so I started a team.
All right.
Yeah, in year 3,
Harrison, what in the world?
91 houses was the most I ever sold as a solo agent. So that was me with nobody helping me. That was just me beating the streets, cold calling, doing whatever I could.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. The year after that, where I broke into the 6 figures, that was me plus an agent. 225 was me plus 3 or 4. And then, me plus 2 or 3. And then the 380, that was me plus 4 or 5. And then going into year 6, 552. Year 7, we did take a dip, 482.
Holy smokes.
But we're the number 1 real estate team in Louisiana. Nobody outsells us. In Little Monroe, we're rocking the number 1 team. And I've been the number 1 agent in all of Louisiana for, I believe, 4 years running now.
Dude,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Man, I got to back up because like when you said it so casually.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was like, I've been in the restaurant industry. That's no joke.
Yeah.
When you said I had to give my 45 hours in the restaurant and do my real estate.
Yeah.
Dude, that's busting it out. I mean, that's not, I'm going and working the lunch for them for 3 hours and then going.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. That's the difference, I think, when you talk to somebody that's a real entrepreneur that gets like everything else, like I have to succeed.
Yeah. Well, a real entrepreneur
That's
understands that 40 hours is a great start to the first half of your work week.
That is correct.
Like when people are like, I'm working full time and I'm working, so like define full time, 40 hours a week. Cool part-time job. Like you're struggling financially, don't talk to me about your 40 hours. Like let's go do 80, let's do 100. Don't talk about my financial blessings unless you're willing to work like I'm willing to work.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
that's the
Dave
difference.
talks a lot about like how prominent it is now to have side gigs. Like everybody
has a side gig.
I mean, like everybody has something you're working on. I mean,
But
and
you
if you can convert
people...
your side gig into your full time, what you're passionate about, you're a lucky soul.
but then you got to make another side gig.
That's correct.
I mean, like,
Well, but that comes through hiring the who. Like that's
right.
That's your who stack.
Yeah.
Like, who am I going to partner with in life and make sure they can grow? My world will be so big where they can grow inside my world and never have to leave in order to advance their life and advance their family financially or time-wise or whatever it is they're looking for.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, so if the number 1 reason most people don't succeed is because of their side gig. They're not willing to go all in.
right.
Yeah.
You know, and it, like
that
you said,
jumping moment is like
Yeah.
when you talk to somebody that has had that moment in their life,
Yeah.
they always like look at you different when they talk about it.
Yeah.
Like well, on this show, how many times, I mean, and when you ask about the day, I mean, I can tell you like that day, hour, what I was probably wearing, what room I was, I mean, I can tell you all about that day. I couldn't tell you all about yesterday. You know, like
Yep.
Yeah.
that is what
yeah.
makes entrepreneurs different, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and maybe that's the moment you become one and it,
But you're obviously, we talk about this a lot on this show with entrepreneurs. You're pretty comfortable with chaos.
I'm extremely I am bored and lonely without chaos.
I knew it. I knew it. Okay.
When I go home at night, and it, whether it's an early day and I'm home at 5 or 6, or it's a late night like last night, didn't get in till 9, 10 o'clock, and there's nothing for me to work on, and everything's great and everything's good. I don't want to be in those moments. I want to live in creation. I want to live in problem solving, because that's in those moments where I'm making the most money.
I get nervous in those moments because I find myself getting comfortable, and like comfort to me is very scary because I know it can all, something could happen, and like I want to have the foot on the gas when it does.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like I don't ever want to get caught sleeping.
I'm that way at the BRF in economic development, because I'll tell you, I know for a fact that if you're not working 3 leads that are going to move companies into North Louisiana, okay, if you're not generating 3 more, okay, you're not going to have economic impact.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's the way you have to look at it.
People so often look at a guy like Harrison or me and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're just crazy. You must be on
crazy.
drugs. Like your leg never stops ticking." And I'm like,
Yeah, you're a workaholic,
I would never
and
have
you've
a
got no
job
quality
like
of
that.
life
Yeah.
on that.
So I disagree with quality of life. Like, I have so much freedom. Like, Tuesday, I got to take my daughter, my niece and my nephew to a Zach Bryan concert. I worked for the first half of the day, hopped in the car. I was like, put on your AirPods because you're about to listen to me talk. Because I'm about to be I'm still lead generating. Like, I'm still I still do inside these companies. And so they sat back there and did homework that they hadn't done for the last 3 weeks. And I sat up front and lead generated and called my agents and ran businesses. We get to the hotel, everybody showers up, we go to the concert, we get back at 2 o'clock in the morning. That was awful. And then, the next morning I'm up at 6, like I'm back on my calls. And so like, I get it. Like, that's a crazy lifestyle that most people aren't willing to do that. And yet I got to go to a concert in the middle of the week. Right. And still, I didn't miss not one penny in my P&L, because like I do have freedom inside of the discomfort, inside of everything that we do.
I had to find a balance at some point. Like over like the 10 years, pre-COVID.
As soon as you said you had to find a balance, I looked for your wedding ring and I found it.
That's right. Yeah. I worked pre-COVID, the group of entrepreneurs I was around and myself all felt like we had to be working nonstop every second, or it was like in the group, it was like, oh, took a weekend off. Oh, yeah. And I changed my mentality a little through COVID. I valued the time with the kids, the time of truly turning it off. And I put in a lot of hours too. I work a lot. I do events on top of my marketing company.
I'm not judging you if you don't work as many hours as me.
But no. I'm never working that many hours. You're nuts.
Yeah.
But I think like there is a balance of figuring out what works for you and where you're trying to get.
Yeah.
And I'm with you, dude. If you at some point in some spot, you got to decide what's realistic of where I'm going and how many hours I'm putting in, and where you are.
Yeah, no, and there's seasonality to everything. This is my grind season. If I have completed my entrepreneurial mission, then at 45 I will have the ability to retire. I'm 35. I have 10 more years in me, and my goal is to own 10 businesses that pay me $100,000+ a year. $1 million residual income. It has nothing to do with my real estate portfolio or anything like that, but like that's my goal in retirement.
That's
is
awesome.
45, 10 businesses that pay me $100+ a year. I want $1 million a year in residual income from just my businesses.
Having those goals is like something I wish I need to get back to.
Is finance your background?
No, it's probably not even my strong suit if we're being honest.
Really?
Yeah, I just play with fire all day. No, I'm not college educated. I dropped out of college. I majored in beer pong. Apparently, that's not a degree.
Yeah.
Although my bounce it's solid. But the reason I didn't care, I was in college bartending 3 nights a week, and my friends are getting out of college with $40, $50, $60, $100,000 in student loans. And they're like, oh, I'm graduating. I just got my first offer. I'm going to my first job. I'm like, cool, what are you making? 30 with benefits. And I was like, I work 3 days a week and I make $60K cash, which is the equivalent of like 80 plus. And I'm having fun.
Yeah.
You spend $100,000 to be absolutely poor for the rest of your life.
And the freedom to be able to decide, like you're saying, to work 1,000 hours a week or to go on vacation or to do whatever you want is worth so much. At 42 years old, when I'm talking to somebody that has a degree, has a good job, has a good reputation, and they're like, yeah, I've got 14 days paid vacation.
Oh, and
I'm like,
and let me ask my boss for permission.
Calling another man and asking if I could go on a vacation.
Dude, I have a problem with that. Like, we don't even have, like, it's a rule in our company. We do not have sick days. None of our companies have sick days. We don't have PTO. We don't have vacation.
Yeah.
You just take it.
Yeah.
If your job description is complete and you do not give me back the job that I pay you to do, I don't.
Well, I've always found that when you trust somebody and you're, returning that trust, they'll produce more for you than anybody.
They will.
They will deliver.
Yeah, one of our admin, she got sick for like a week. She had the flu, and then she had COVID right behind that. She comes up to the office without us asking. By the way, I just sent a text that said, hey, take the time. Hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us know. We got your back. You're sick. That's okay. She comes up to the office while nobody's there, like Lysols it down after she leaves, of course, grabs her laptop, sends me a message next morning. I went and grabbed my laptop from the office last night. Please don't cut me out of text messages. I'm here to help. Didn't ask for that. Didn't mandate it. But that's the kind of thing that, like, when you hire talented people, they just help you along your entrepreneurial journey. And I would accredit 80% of my success, if not more, to the people that raised me and the people that I'm around and that have joined their vision to mine.
That's awesome.
It's always going to be the who.
So we talked with another real estate guy, and we're talking about kind of the changing world of real estate.
Are we, like, specifically like the NAR lawsuit?
What we were talking with him about is
the back office.
But it's like the Uber model of real estate where you don't have to have the traditional brokerage and whatnot.
Okay, so like cloud brokerages, like EXP?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
Man, there's so many different systems out there, and I think you just have to pick what works for you. I'm a camaraderie teamwork guy. I like being around people and energy. Like, before I got in here with you guys, I was in my car on a Zoom call releasing our new marketing strategy for the new NAR lawsuit market. And we had, we've got 12 agents. I think all 12 were on there. All of our admin were on there. Our coach and consultant is on there. And we're releasing what we're doing and how we're going to implement it and what we need them to do and all that stuff. And that gets me fired up because everybody was in. People were asking questions.
Right.
People were living in creation. So the cloud model doesn't work for me because we enjoy teamwork, and we're all super competitive. And nothing helps a competitor like a scoreboard.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So, but there's people who are like that. They want low splits. They want no to low value. They don't want their broker to do anything. They want to go live real estate on their terms, which is why the average agent sells 7 or less houses a year, and mine sell 46 a year. Shameless plug.
So are you the broker?
I do not own a broker's license. I own the brokerage, and then my top agent and business partner and one of my best friends on the planet, Amanda Mesa, she holds our broker's license.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you've got them. You've got your more traditional models like Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker. There's always going to be a place for them. All of the models that I'm talking about, even though their rev share, profit share, whatever you want to call it, and even their education and tech is a little bit different. It's all basically the same thing. They're high recruitment companies with low to no value.
All right, so I can't let you leave without asking you in this market and in our community, talking North Louisiana, we know with interest rates and whatnot, home sales, home building, it has been tough. What do you see happening soon? What is the struggle are y'all still slinging houses?
We're doing well. We're beating our market. I don't measure us versus last year because last year was a completely different market, right? I just measure like how is everybody else doing? Like what's their year over year versus what is our year over year?
Right.
How many pendings do they have? How many pendings do we have? How many listings do they have? How many listings do we have?
Right.
Those are the stats that I look at. So we're still selling houses. I think right now, if I went and looked at my pending sheet, got 12 agents, I think we have 75 or 80 homes pending right now.
Wow.
So that part's good. There is definitely a slowdown. Market 2022 to 2023 year over year was down 21%. Market 2022 to 2023 down an additional 15%. 2022 to 2023 down 21%. 2023 to 2024 year over year down an additional 15%.
But that's coming off that huge spike.
Yeah, it's coming off a spike, and so it's not. If you manage your expenses and your payroll well, like it's still fine. We had to make some adjustments. We went from a monthly overhead of like $130,000 a month to I brought it all the way down to 70 at the very end of 2022, and then I think we've creeped our way back up into the mid to high 90s. But we've recruited a few agents and increased our P&L, so we were able to provide more value for our agents. So my prediction is that the market will keep ticking the way it is right now. I think it's going to be very consistent. In inconsistency, interest rates will continue to do this. I don't think you're going to see a strong dip. If you see a 5, you should buy something immediately, just for funsies. But I think you're just going to see a lot of market volatility in interest rates. I think sales are going to be relatively consistent with what you saw in 2016 to 2019 in your markets. Yeah, I don't really have any other predictions for the real estate market other than the NAR lawsuit, which will cause inevitably real estate commissions to go down a little bit. And I just look at the world stage. In the world stage, there is typically only one realtor involved in each sale rather than a buying agent and a buying agent and a listing agent. And so the international average for transactions has been 3.8 to 4.2 across the world in those systems. And so I think what we're going to do is you're going to see just some commission compression.
Really?
So I love that. That's awesome. Real quick before we go, give me a North Louisiana. Where are we now from a economic impact, population growth decline, and where do you see us going? How do you feel about the area right now?
I don't know much about the Northwest area. Roofing company is likely to be over here in the next few months, but so I'm not as attuned to the Northwest, but the Northeast market, we're on a slight decline. When I go on listing appointments, especially to the younger generations, 45 and less, when they leave, they're leaving for bigger, better jobs in bigger cities. They're moving to Dallas and getting a 2X on their pay. Dallas
they're also getting a 4X on their house.
Well, that's true too. So I mean, they're having to commute an hour just to be able to afford a piece of real estate. So we are seeing that. So Northeast Louisiana is in a slight population decline, especially for productive, forward-thinking citizens, the younger generation. Economically, things are just getting more expensive. I mean, we've seen the average price point in houses last year was $205. This year it's like $227. Now that could just be that more people are selling more expensive houses, but we definitely just saw another gross appreciation.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Well, Harrison, man, this has been great. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was quick.
Thanks for coming on.
Enjoy the podcast? We would love your feedback about today's show and who you think should be our next guest. Send us an email at info@eapla.com. Also, be sure to share the show and leave a comment on our social media post.